class.
Sure, why not? It's been a pretty quiet day so far.
Breaking news. A heist is underway in downtown Los Angeles. The target? Armored trucks. Sky 5 News is reporting live from the increasingly chaotic scene.
Gentlemen, let's get cracking. We got a heist to pull.
Place the charge.
211 in progress. Suspects are armed and dangerous. Backup is needed. Code 3.
Cops spotted on the bridge!
Got one pinned down! Help me out here!
He hit the crane cable! Almost got me.
The package is en route to the drop-off.
Get to the truck! Go, go!
He hit the third cable! That crane is coming down!
Grapple's up and good! Don't let him pin us!
Okay, bro! That's what you get!
Take the shot! Need some help here!
Another thing to point out here for you guys, and you know, something that I think is just awesome, is Heist and Blood Money are two game types that are brand new to the Battlefield universe, but they still retain that Battlefield feeling, right? You know, high action, vehicles going around everywhere. Obviously, there is a great emphasis, and I personally dig this, on the infantry play. I'm really enjoying just like the basic gunplay there, and that's been one of my favorite things about it, you know, just play testing. I had a chance to go out to EA Redwood Shores and actually play the game beforehand, and I mean, it was awesome. I had such a great time with it. Of course, Heist, let's talk about this game mode here. So basically, the premise of it, and I'll actually go ahead and bust out the tabletop, is you have two objectives that you have to go to, two particular cases. You can actually see one of the players actually carrying the package right now. That's a Zhao's Kun. So the basic premise: grab the package, take it over to the drop-off point. There are two drop-off points in the map, and it seems like he got pinned down. So now the cops have the opportunity to actually return the package back over to the vault, and the criminals have to do it again.
Yeah, keeping it to true Battlefield fashion. It is right now we're currently in a 16 versus 16 scenario, 32-man server, and then we also, of course, Battlefield is still going to continue for Battlefield Hardline, a 64. But look at this. I mean, you get the chance to be able to drive around in police cars. We'll talk about vehicles later on as well. So there's different types of vehicles that you can hop into. I believe there's 12 different, just in this game, or just in this map right here, that you can actually hop into. So you still have your crew that you can carry around in with you, and some of these crew cabs, as well as some of the police cars. You'll be able to pop on the lights just as you like to. And so you really get an experience of what you would think whenever you're driving around in downtown LA. Of course, before we even hop into the game, even the loading screen is cool to watch.
Yeah, you know, it's like it's really trying to keep true to it. It seems like we're actually going to have a score here, so I believe that they are going to be able to cap this going. Yes, they do. So, and basically, there you have it, right? So you have 100 tickets for the criminals that they have to manage to secure the goal with, and I'm actually going to see right now who's leading here. So it's, yep, we actually have a guy who's actually 9-5. But yeah, so basically, as you can see at the top of the scoreboard, and one thing I really like about the spectator mode this time around, it really adds a lot to the just dynamic of the game, right? You know, you see it clearly. Cops have infinite lives. Meanwhile, there's one package that is going to be grabbed, and they have 19 tickets to do it. So they have a lot on their plate here to be able to accomplish their task.
So something that we haven't dove into, again, everything is still true to the idea of what Battlefield is all about. You have your different types of classes that you can work with. Those have been renamed and kind of more so created for this type of environment right here. Of course, you still have your traditional idea of support, medic, engineer, as well as your assault type classes there. So you get the whole spectrum of what you've seen in previous Battlefields. Of course, there's been some twists that have been done to those types of elements here for Battlefield Hardline. So it's just a lot of cool things to look out for, especially whenever you try. Now, again, if you want to communicate with the rest of the crew out there, the rest of the people that are out there, utilize the aspect of hashtag BF Hardline.
That's right.
We'll be able to check that out. We'll be looking through social media there on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, what have you, whatever you want to be able to communicate and get your voice heard. Make sure you utilize the hashtag BF Hardline.
Yeah, and I'm actually looking here. I believe they do have the package, so they're going to be making their way up top and trying to see if they can cap this one. And so this game of Heist actually has gotten to be very, very intense. I want to take a look and see what's going on with yeah, there we go with the tabletop perspective. So the package is actually going to be in the hands of Mississippi. And they're making their way up top. So now here's the goal, right? The goal for the criminals: get to the top of the building and extract the package so that this way they're able to accomplish their task, win the game. They have no more tickets to do this. They have 0 tickets remaining, but yet this shotgun Mississippi trying to make magic happen here for the crew, trying to get this money. But of course the struggle has never been more real right now, as he is just stuck in a staircase. His teammates are dying all over the place.
He's doing a great job, though, allowing his teammates to be right there with him and being able to spawn off of him, taking advantage of that squad mentality here that you get from Battlefield. You see them trying to push up those staircases, but you saw the opposition on the other side. Of course, look at those cops right there on top. They're trying to hold it down, making sure that this objective doesn't finish here, and gives you that exact same type of feel that you're seeing right here. Look at it's almost, you can barely see the difference between what's IRL and what's not.
Yeah,
is this real life?
Is this real life? It's ridiculous. And taking a look here, going to be using that Marine Magnum shotgun there, the Enforcer class. which, you know, again, it's going to be more of that heavy kind of gameplay that you're going to see. Obviously, taking out ammo for his teammates. They have no more tickets, so Mississippi is basically keeping the drive alive. But he gets taken out, and the cops have managed to stop them. All tickets have been taken, and, you know, making sure...
My phone's blowing up right now. I can feel it.
I can only imagine. And, of course, if you guys are talking about it out there, use that hashtag BFHardline. Just want to hammer that way. Whatever social media you guys decide to use. Also, one more thing I want to point out is that we're going to be giving away a couple of PlayStation 4s
We are?
to you guys. Yeah, so you guys who are talking about Battlefield Hardline. So, you know, we want to thank our fans for obviously tuning in and having a good time watching the game. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the fun here because we got Blood Money going on.
Yeah.
And so to the action, Ian, I got to ask you, you know, Blood Money, very unique game type in the Battlefield universe. Obviously brand new, never been done before. Why go this route? Was it just because you have a fantasy of just wanting to run over to a vault with stacks of cash on your back?
Well, it kind of, you come at these things from both sides, right? There is the obvious fantasy experiences that you want to pay off on.
Yeah.
And then there's the strategy and gameplay. Who is this mode for? How does it sort of work? And in this case, I love Blood Money.
Yeah.
Because it really pays off on all the things that Battlefield is great at. The teamwork, the fluidity, the tactics, the whole thing. And what makes Blood Money especially cool, the idea is that there's been some event, like it could be that a bank car crashes or whatever. So there's a big pile of money in the middle, and both teams are trying to get it. The cops are trying to recover some and put it away. The criminals are trying to get some for themselves, of course. But the vaults they take it to are not secure. So this is a mode that really allows for like epic comebacks. Like one team can almost have it all, and then they gradually get taken back. It ends up with like the center of gravity moves around the map, and it really plays into some of the things we've done with this game in terms of fast vehicles, being able to travel, being able to team up on something so you can arrive in like a car full of friends and take a bunch of stuff. You can go over in the helicopters. A lot of different ways to make it happen.
Yeah, speaking of helicopters, one whizzing over us as we speak right now.
Yeah.
Pretty ridiculous.
That's super cool.
And it's kind of ironic because I'm showing a helicopter here.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, a little helicopterception.
Yeah.
Now, you know, a common misconception that's out there that I've been seeing a lot on Reddit, I've been seeing it on various social media, has been people saying, oh, well, you know, Visceral's making the single player, obviously, because they're really well known for that, but DICE is making the multiplayer. And I think it'll be a good time for us to kind of dispel that. So how involved are you guys in the multiplayer development, or I should say, how involved is DICE in it for the fans back?
Well, we've been working with DICE since day one to make sure that this is quality Battlefield. This is something that we are leading. Everything that people are playing here today, we built the whole map. We've been contributing to BF3 and BF4 little bits along the way, and DICE is contributing here because there's a lot of excitement at DICE too about this game.
Yeah.
And so there were people at DICE that said, "Hey, can we do some stuff? Let's do some things." So those guys, we have some artists and designers and people helping us out at DICE, but it's not like they're making the multiplayer, we're making the single player. This is a Visceral production.
Very much a Visceral game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice stuff there. I mean, you know, so those of you guys back home who are like, oh no, Visceral's not doing this, they are. But the cool part is, you know, and having talked with you guys, like when I went out to EA Redwood Shores and all that, you guys are very involved. You guys are you know, taking this to another level as far as just interaction is concerned with the community. You invited a bunch of YouTubers and all that stuff to play test the game, give feedback. How important was that for you? I mean, you know, to sink your teeth into that.
There's nothing more important, obviously. When you're talking about a multiplayer game that you hope for people to spend hundreds of hours in, and you need it to have a lot of accessibility that people can drop in and kind of get it, and I think that's something that this world really offers.
Yeah.
But also, hundreds of hours in, they need to be finding new stuff. The tactics need to evolve. You know, it needs to be balanced. It needs to be great. And as much as we think we know what we're doing, we got some pretty smart people on this team. There's no placement for really talking to the fans, really getting their feedback, really letting them bang on it for a while and see how it goes. And that's part of what we've decided to do here at E3 that I think is pretty cool. I mean, we're all gamers. We've been through a lot of E3s ourselves, and we're going to make sexy trailers. Sexy trailers are fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But there's no replacement for actually playing the game. So that's why we are opening it up to everybody. Please download it, play it, check it out. We're going to get a lot of telemetry off of that. We're going to get a ton of feedback, I hope. Because this thing is not done. It's coming out this fall. We got a lot more stuff coming up and a lot more things we can work on. So I'm pretty excited to hear what people say.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, you know, it's funny even as we talk about it. You know, the people behind us are actually cheering because they're you know, probably experiencing some ridiculous moment in the game.
Sure.
Which I think is irreplaceable. Now, speaking about how Battlefield Hardline came to be,
Yeah.
right? Because I think the story is very cool. It's very unique. Talk to me about this. Tell the people at home about this. This is not EA saying, all right, we want you to make a Battlefield game. This was actually you guys saying, we want to make this.
Well, it just kind of happened organically.
Yeah.
We've been making games for a long time, and one of the cool things about being part of EA, right, are these tremendous teams all around the world.
Yeah.
And we get together to share tips and techniques and what we've been working on. And in January of 2012, our GM, Steve, was at a meeting with the GM of DICE. And they just started basically, having a love fest about, man, your game's awesome. I love Dead Space. Oh, really? I love Battlefield. And they just sort of talked about, wouldn't it be fun to team up on something?
Yeah.
And Steve came back to the office and he was like, hey, man, you're a big Battlefield guy. And I was like, hell yeah, I've been playing it since it came out. I remember I played the hell out of the Wake Island demo in 2002. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. Well, what's going on? He's like, well, what do you think about this idea? I don't know. I mean, what do you think? And I was, of course, over the moon about the possibilities of doing a Battlefield game. But then, right, I was a little bit worried that maybe DICE would just want us to exactly do what they've done. Like, were they going to let us do something with it? Were they going to let us change it up? Because they've been working on this thing for a very long time, and a lot of those DICE guys have been there since day one. And but I thought, man, I really think Cops and Criminals would really work. I think that's a fantasy in a world that could really pay off for me.
That's right.
And I can get that, and I think it really fits with where Battlefield could go. So we got a whole presentation together. We went over to DICE, and nervous because it's kind of a it's a departure, and we presented, hey guys, like, what do you think? What do you think, like, Cops and Robbers? And it was amazing because they went, oh my god, really? Because then they pulled out their presentation, and because they had been wanting to do a Cops and Robbers version for a long time. They've been trying it for years. They just had never really gotten a chance to really do a slate, right?
Yeah.
And what I loved is the fiction was so strong, and the fantasies and the things that I want to do as a cop or a criminal, right? I want to use the word perp.
Yeah.
I want to go whoop with the lights. I want to tase a guy.
Yeah.
And then when I'm a criminal, I don't need to take over the world. I want to rob banks, and I want to blast music out of my car, and I want to have like that kind of experience.
Yeah.
And those fantasies translated so well, and those experiences we wanted to create translated so well, it was what DICE had to do. We thought, well, we have to make this. This has to happen. And we've been going ever since.
Nice. Again, I find it to be cool because, obviously EA has a lot of studios and EA works with, there's a lot of interconnectivity there. So it's interesting to see a studio like Visceral. Very much, Dead Space, obviously, it was like your baby, and I love Dead Space. Like,
thank you.
And then to kind of like venture out into this very different world, but yet still do it Visceral style, I think is really cool.
Yeah, no, it's been great. And this idea, right, we've done alien spaceships and foreign planets and all that kind of stuff, and don't get me wrong, I love that. But doing something like this in the real world, I mean, look at this. I mean, like right here, and translating that to an experience that people can have live and in such a accessible, easy to get into and easy to get sort of thing has been really, really rewarding.
Yeah.
One of the things that I think has always been tricky about these giant multiplayer games. Look at all the features. Look at all the things you can do. They can be a little intimidating.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If you come in and you haven't played this before and you're like, wait, where am I supposed to go? What am I supposed, like, my teammate? And then some guy comes by in a helicopter and bam, you're dead. Or this, there's so much going on, and really experienced people can own other people. And what we think that this fiction really, really offers, it's super gettable. Like, I know what I need to do as a cop or a criminal when it's like a heist or it's blood money and I got to get this stuff. Like, I get it. I get what I need to do. So I'm really excited about showing it there.
The new game types here in Battlefield Hardline, and it is probably one of the most intense because you're trying to get a package and deliver it to one of the extraction points here. Of course, the criminals have 100 tickets to do this. The cops have infinite amount of tickets because they're defending. The criminals got to go to one of the extraction points, grab the package and then take it to either the B or A extraction point. Let's see how they do.
That's just only, I mean, just dive right in and take a look at what's possible here in this game. I mean, every bit of it, we have like a high action scene. This looks like it would almost come from like a single player, from a campaign type mode, and this is again that multiplayer experience. I think that's one of the craziest things that Battlefield, the brand, has just been all about, and being able to produce just epic moments like these Battlefield moments here.
Yeah, that's right. Now, I'm actually going to see what's going on here and see who's going to try and make some magic happen on the criminal side. So they are going to go after, I believe, the A point there, which is actually right in front of Blast and Brains, and you can see just a bunch of shots going off. But they do have the package. So they do have the package. I believe that's actually going to be alleged metal, if I'm correct. No, that's not alleged metal, but we'll go ahead and hop on board with him in a little bit. And then he can't. Oh,
roadkill!
Poor guy, Blast and Brains. I'm sorry, buddy. You just got destroyed.
Man, you don't need to have a knife. You don't need to have a taser. You don't need to have a weapon. You just need a vehicle to be able to bring out the slaying power, as you saw what happened there. That's one of some of the fun moments that you see. You can. You've got different types of vehicles. You can see the motorcycle. You've just got so many different bits and pieces, different elements of the game. I mean, that's one of the things that I like about it is the different aspects that go into Battlefield, from whether you're talking about, you can look at it from one side of it. You can look at the classes and talking about the different types that you have there. You can also look at the guns and the different type of weaponry that usually makes a pretty big impact on any type of gameplay.
That's right.
And then you throw in the vehicle aspect of it, and then they talk about now what we see from Battlefield Hardline, the versatility of how vertical everything is too. And just there's just so many different parts, and especially in terms of the gadgets that you can see. I love to see the grappling hook come, as we saw it come back here into the Battlefield Hardline. It's just really fun to watch here.
All right, so one of the packages have been taken over, so they do manage to retrieve it. But let's actually see what's going on over here. Oh, no. No, that is not good at all, but it seems like the loot was picked up. Real OG's actually going to be hanging around there, hopping on board with him. He's going to get taken out. The mayhem is absurd here. As we jump over to Mississippi and have it on the back, he's going to try and work with his team here to get this package and distract it. Let's see if they can do it.
That was a great job, though, by their teammates that they only needed one player to go ahead and spawn off of. You saw that squad spawn right there to be able to pick up the objective and to continue down that street. And so they're really trying to make some things happen. Again, we're here on high tension here in downtown LA, as you can see here from the helicopter pad, and just really getting some really cool things, as you can see. I mean, it's that difference. I mean, you can tell that looking at inside the game, it just feels so real to watching what's possible here, kind of bringing that fantasy into reality here in a video game.
Oh man, look at the way it's shaking here. Of course, that destruction with the crane falling down, but now Alleged Metal and crew, they're kind of in a precarious position. Zip lining down. No, they're not going to do this. Straight to the extraction point like a boss, and they managed to secure Alleged Metal with the win.